Epic Mickey Rebrushed, a game where you epically Mickey rebrush. No, that doesn't work at all. Hey guys, it's world famous YouTuber Toast Bomba here to make your lives worse for another hour. Unless you just click off the video, but you can't do that. It's not allowed. Epic Mickey on the Wii is the first game I remember playing. That's actually a lie, it was Angry Birds, but still, the old game I played, I like it, me like it. I remember watching YouTube in like 2023 and getting an ad of some guy talking, which happens sometimes, believe it or not. And I was gonna skip it, but then he mentioned Epic Mickey, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna remake Epic Mickey? Dude, I'm so excited I can blow up a hospital! I'm sidetracked, nice to meet you. Epic Mickey is a 3D platformer where you have this paintbrush that's pretty elegant. It shoots 2 liquids, similarly to my real paintbrush. Despite the similarities, this one shoots paint and thinner instead. Paint is cool and fills in these outlines for this toon stuff, while thinner is evil and breaks toon and also fucking murders people. Now that's pretty cool, but there's a drawback. You see, Mickey's blood is actually what the paint and thinner is made of. I know it's crazy, but it's official. It says it on the website. So, call me a king, cause it's time for my rule! Rule, we're doing the rule. First off, no new game plus. It gives you access to infinite rocket launcher, and that would make the game way too easy. Secondly, let's define what a paint or thinner use actually is. I'll qualify one use as the entire time you're painting with the paintbrush or thinning. This just gives you better metrics to use and count every single time. Also, no using these guarding guys is they basically paint or kill an enemy for us, and it feels like cheating, so it is. Finally, because I hate myself apparently, no health upgrades. That's all! Let's make like and move on to the game! Okay, the game starts with a cutscene, so we have to do lore. This wizard guy is Sid. No longer the science kid he once was, he's now a wizard who makes this little thing which is basically a land for forgotten dudes. Anyways, Mickey's a gremlin and breaks him to fuck shit up. He does this, and that, and Mickey, what the fuck? That is the plot. I just want to remind you that this is a Disney game. Mickey attempts murder, then flees the scene after destroying everything. Wait, he just used thinner. Mickey returns home and goes to sleep after ruining some random guy's stuff. Yep, that actually works, and there's no video game. Nothing bad happens, and I'm lying, you fucking stupid bitch. Of course that's not true. God, you're really dumb. I'm sure somebody out there wishes this was them. Not you guys, though. You guys are all really cool and conventionally attractive. Now we have this guy, the Mad Doctor. He's got Mickey restrained and cycles to the top bar. However, Mickey's fucking jacked and breaks out. Do not start a fight with Mickey Mouse, he will kick your ass. Super Mario style! After one unimportant part where we can't use our paintbrush, we arrive at the paintbrush tutorial. That's gonna be great. We need to paint this gear to get through this door. Unfortunately, because Mickey cannot walk through solid walls, we have to eat our first paint usage here. It's not paint, you fucking idiot. We're immediately told to use thinner to knock down this door. This time, though, there's already a bit that's thinned, and you can actually jump over the door by standing on these bricks, then dashing, double jumping, and finally spinning at the same time. The final tutorial thing wants us to thin, then restore the floor. Despite how we can clearly jump over these rocks, Mickey refuses to, because he's stupid. We have to thin the floor, just not thinner. We have to thin the floor, but painting again is unnecessary. This fuckwit starts annoying on us through a wall before we encounter our first enemy, Sears. Isn't that a store? Anyway, since we have no way of defeating these guys, we just ignore it. Our goal is to climb the staircase to hit these gears. Of course, this castle is damaged due to some unknown reason, and it's not really easy to traverse. Take this staircase where this jump exists. It looks impossible. There's actually this tiny thing you can jump on here to make the distance. Unfortunately, there's national things shortage, so that's the only one, and there's another jump. I tried pretty much every angle, but this one's impossible without another paint use. There's a few more rock piles to see more in, given our last experience with them, but they can just be easily jumped around. Also, all these projectile segments are 2D platformers. They're really cool, but you can't use the paintbrush, so they're gonna be skipped. There's still quite a bit of progress before we reach the main hub area of the game. To start, we're told to paint these gears to open this door. We just break it all instead. Also, we're told to paint these pipes to stop the leaks, but we can just, you know, not. We're introduced to the next enemy here, which is pretty much the main enemy of the game, the Splatter. Unfortunately, we're trapped in this room until we kill it, so we have to use another paint or thinner use. There's a second wave though, so I make sure to paint him to turn him good so he can take care of the second wave. Our friends fuck off when we have more enemies to kill to save this character. Luckily, there's a convenient vat of acid we can dip them in. How humane! The next room already makes us use paint or thinner again. A small caveat to how we have to hold the paint button is that double jumping, dashing, taking damage, or ground pounding will cancel this input, so they're now allowed when we have multiple targets. So, we have the choice to paint the hippos or thin these pipes. The pipes are further apart, but the hippos have a timer before they thin themselves. The timer really isn't an issue because our paint bar is already a much stricter timer, so I chose to use that instead. Basically, paint the hippos is really easy. Ooh, new enemies! Sweepers! These are the smartest enemies in the game. They have 2 attacks, this stupid melee one and this ranged attack. The little thinner ball that's thrown at can actually damage enemies and thin obstacles. And yes, it is a pain in the ass trying to get one to throw it where you want. Luckily, we don't need to use it right now. Encounter these gears that rotate when painted and stop when thinned. These are mostly just really annoying, you'll never find ones that are impossible to get around. Make sure to free the optional gremlins here. Same with all 4 will save us from having to use paint at the end of this area. I'm stupid, I forgot a entire line, in my script, so I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so after, I don't know, there's child murder, and then there's a small Pete guy, and he wants us to get a logbook in the Gremlin village, so they know he wasn't, like, a terrorist. It's, like, midnight. I don't want to do this, but I want to get some more editing done. Fucking kill me. Our next goal is to raise the fire bridge, which is in fact as cool as it sounds. There's no fire though, so I'm not sure why it's called that. This looks bad. You have to get on this little lever platform thing in order to bridge, which is a proper sentence. You can stand still on the vertical platforms and make the jump surprisingly easily, which I did do on the first try, but I'm stupid so I just walked off. I got a second try, since I'm the best. It was actually calculated, as first is commonly referred to as being the worst, while second appears to actually be the best, according to popular literature. Speaking of second, a second dumbest platform thing is Hit My Will to Live, and this time there's seemingly no way to get up. Or is there? You can step on this breakable vine thing and get up on one of the platforms. Or just walk into the side of it and knock it down somehow. There's more vine stuff on the other side, but it just doesn't work. I tried jumping off of Gus, jumping off this rock thing, and even murdering Gus, but nothing worked. You have to paint this stupid table to proceed. Now we're at Gremlin Village, and this place looks fucked, dude. Luckily, we're here to fix it, and to do so, we paint pipes. Okay, on the bright side, it's only 1 use. Barely, though. Gus wants us to paint his house in, too. Ha! No! Thanks for the achievement, I'm out of here. Or, I would be, but I can't. We have to repair the stupid clock. Oh, hey, a new mechanic! I love getting new ones to spice things up. You know, add some counterplay to things, or have counterplay themselves. What's this called? A paint and thinner pump. Yeah, every single occurrence of this is a required paint or thinner use. We break our legs and make it to the exit, getting nothing on the way.
Hey, this is editing me here, and it's no longer midnight. Remember that part I said, like, 2 days ago, also known as, like, 2 minutes ago, for you, at least, when I was really tired because it was midnight and I didn't do a part of the recording? Yeah, that voiceover was actually done later and I realized it just now in the voiceover thing, so I wasted my time there. This means nothing to you, and not really to me. It just kind of means this video will be out, like, 30 minutes later than it should be. Fuck you.
Here's the last area before the first boss. There's a game part that's slightly harder than normal, but still not an issue, and once you get up here, you can realize that it's just all completely pointless and you can make it from the ground. Oh hey, it's Small Pete! Now, I appear to have lied. We forget the logbook. Oopsies! And yeah, I said we. I meant it. You should have reminded me. Luckily, Small Pete's understanding. Now that we're trapped in the arena, we can use the sweeper to destroy the toon floor, revealing the pool of thinner we can push everyone in, including ourselves apparently. Even if they try and run or just fucking kill themselves. Twice. Ooh, what a cool camera angle. I wonder where we're gonna oh my god! This is the clock tower and he is scary. Why is everything in this game kind of scary? It's actually a bit of a dilemma here. Every single boss can be made cool with paint or killed with thinner. In other words, Undertale. Now if we paint him, his hands take you to his head so you can paint it and spare him. In his hands, he gets slowly dismembered until exploding and fucking dying. Disney game! Now sadly, we are gonna have to kill him because you have to paint him again at the end of the good route. This will actually be a challenge though, because there's strategy here. See, there are these breakable items in this arena. Breakable items that aren't chests will give 2 tickets and give you some health if your health isn't full, and paint or thinner if they aren't full. It's a bit more complicated than that, but I'm too lazy. I'm too... Fuck me. And because of that, and how using your spin move doesn't drop your thinner input, Additionally, this attack by CLOCKBOY produces juice packets. To kill him, you have to thin every part of both of his arms, then wait for him to do this punch twice, which will cause his hands to fucking come off, and then it'll bleed all over the place. It took me a while here, my best run used thinner 3 times. If you can do it better, send a comment with proof, and I'll call you slurs for being better than me, and then ban you from the channel. Climbing over CLOCKBOY's corpse, reach Mean Street. We're chasing this guy because he keeps emoting on us, and quite frankly, it's pissing me off. Went through this projector, which doesn't work anymore, so we have to side quest. I'll skip every side quest for these sparks for you. At first, I was worried because the vast majority of these are locked behind paint and thinner, but you can just buy them infinitely from the shop, so they're never an issue. Mickey had suppressed because Oswald didn't make a statue in his honor, and I'm this has point because now we're in.
That's insane! That's a bug! That's a bug! That is a bug!
You're tasked with freeing a man from a safe. This moron forgot the code and will only remember if we paint his house. Are you fucking kidding? We can, luckily, paint his whole house in one input. Even if we didn't, we could have just used thinner to fucking kill him. This gremlin who is trapped in that safe tells us that our phone stole his wrench and trapped him in this safe. I'm gonna be honest, the phone is bombastic enough to do that, they're pretty good on my part. However, the phone's a dickhead and wants us to paint in a bunch of power boxes. I take back what I said, I want to beat the shit out of this phone. I don't want to kill it though. Murder's bad and you should never do it. In the next cutscene, we walk in a position that makes no sense given that we just left through the front door. What does this guy want anyways? Oh, he just wants to enter and get his wrench. Guess that saves us 3 paint uses. The phone's probably upset though. I mean, we should probably just explain the challenge and why we did what we... Where's the... No! How could he? That's why you're evil and sucking, you piece of shit! After you arrested that man and nothing else, we move on to MICKEYJUNK Mountain for some reason. I'm gonna be honest, recent events have made me forget why. Right away, we get introduced to a new enemy. Children! These guys aren't that hard to deal with, and they can actually help us by doing... that. What the fuck? Their presence actually just makes any room they're in beat up Children Simulator, and they can be killed by hitting them into thinner. It actually looks pretty funny. So maybe I do support murder. We are told to paint these 3 TVs to open a crane to power this door, which is actually a lunchbox. These 3 TVs are spaced so that we'll need a separate paint use for every single one. But, do we actually need to? This guy in the middle of literally nowhere named Kip, which is actually a real name, by the way. Like, no offense to any Kips out there, I'm sure somebody might love you. I'm sorry, that was really mean. Kip repairs the crane for us. Nice. Also, because it was like 2 AM and I was tired, I got distracted with camera mode. Be honest, which goes harder? This or this? Speaking of enemy types, there's a new, actually relevant enemy type that's showing up. Beetleworks require having a shell thin before you can hit them with a spin attack. Most of them require several hits, and they change visually based on the area they're in. Also, you can't knock them back with a spin attack with the exception of these basic hopper guys. In other words, these guys all are suck ass and are impossible except the birds, which are easy. This room they're introduced, though, is not, though. It's quite the contrary, it's... hard. I should just say it was hard, this is dumb. This jump changes... what the fuck was that? This jump changes from some random obstacle to a seemingly impossible gap. Obviously, I tried just jumping across, but that doesn't work despite my best efforts. Also, even though it's pretty obvious, jumping from the top of this pipe doesn't help. Okay, it looks like we're okay, it looks like we're screwed here, but you haven't accounted from the
Underneath. I meant to say underneath. I said on top of by accident. Oops.
You see, you can jump from this Mickey head to this demonic-looking doll. The idea here is to jump up to this part of the overhead guitar, but it's never that easy since we're still a little bit short. Alright, now it's time to get serious, devil emoji. The only part of this map I haven't commented on are these thinner falls. The thinner falls knock you back and damage you when you jump into them. It seems pretty pointless to bring up, but it's actually really useful. If you notice my position before and after I jumped in a thinner fall, you notice I've actually gained height. Since you can't grab out of a knockback or a spin move, you have to double jump out of it, so it can only be done once per jump. But even that's not enough. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, I'm out of ideas here. My last thought is if you wrap around this thinner fall as you try and make the jump normally, that you can get knocked back towards the platform and then make it, but that's really fucking precise and probably only tassable. If you know what a tass is. I'm assuming you do, and if you don't, you're a fucking idiot. Then you should use google.com. I tried for a real long time, but I'm just gonna be honest, I couldn't do it. If any of you at home can do this, make sure to link a video of... Heh. You must be new around here. Seriously, that was my last attempt, I was just gonna call it impossible move on. To make a long story short, keep gambling. We're with another scary looking jump, but luckily we can just sort of go around. If you fall, you have to do that last jump it again. In other words, don't fall. New enemy, Spladouches. I'm not calling them that. Fat asses sleep until they hear you walk near them, and then they fucking kill themselves. They're less than nothing and very easy to deal with. Also, Gus wants us to edge them. Paint thinner pump. KMS. After this extremely fun factory segment, we arrive at this big thinner pool. There's a phone here too. This is where we would have a side quest for the phone if it didn't fucking die. This really throws a wrench at things, doesn't it? Also, you can just damage boost past the thinner I just brought up for the punt. We're right outside of Oswald's base now. As a sore enemy, these guys will just kind of let us in if we kill the enemies outside. Due to the presence of thinner pools, this is really easy. We also had the option to do parkour instead, but that's just out of the question once we reach this part that wants us to paint an anvil. What if I told you these stairs to get in are the hardest obstacle we've encountered thus far on MICKEYJUNK behind? That's because some more stairs are broken and you can't get in without using paint. Fuck you, Oswald. This guy, who keeps changing his color, which is a trait I thought only Michael Jackson possessed, tells us that in order to see Oswald, we have to pass these 3 tests. Well, this ought to be interesting. They're projectors. He wants us to do projectors. So I've skipped most of it so far. Here's a good point to go over the lore. There was a disaster involving thinner that was created called the Thinner Disaster. That was basically a tsunami of thinner that fucked everything up, and then the blast showed up and double fucked everything up, and then the Mad Doctor decided he was evil and triple fucked everything up. A plot point in this Disney game is that Mickey caused a worldwide disaster. Also, Oswald tells us about our soul, the very culmination of Mickey's being. It's the only way to get out of this world, and it is why the Mad Doctor was trying to suck Mickey at the start. Oswald just wants Mickey to fuck off, so he tells us about this rock in Tomorrow City that can get us out of here. Oh hey, that's the next area.
Minecraft sex porn. No, regret, no.
This technically isn't Tomorrow City, but it's close enough. We gotta raise the submarine to actually get there, and do this by painting 2 gears on 2 separate elevated gear platform puzzles. Despite how annoying this is, you can actually get up top to the crane without using paint, although it is really precise. But Gus comes with the assist to remind us of a gremlin and this thing! I don't know what it is. What does it do? Raise the submarine. Unfortunately, you can't actually make it onto the location by jumping from any point on the crane, but you can cheat the system by standing on the corner of this torch. Don't get too close to the fire or it'll bite you. Also, to actually make it to the gremlin, we need to use thinner because fun is outlawed. Now that we're actually outside of Tomorrow City, we see these new Biddleworks. We don't even have a choice, we just need to run when we see these guys. Gus tells us to hit all these wheels to stop this thinner fall so we can get past. Now my problem is, one of them requires a thinner use to access. So we're gonna have to do what we've been doing so far. Rely on a gremlin to bail us out. This jump to make it actually is pretty tight, but it's nothing you haven't seen before. Just don't miss really bad or this might happen. Okay, after we defeat this hacker, we encounter a recurring mini-boss that will torment us for the rest of history. A slobber! It does a lot of shit, but when it does this Kirby move, you have to use paint or thinner to get it to develop cancer. After he gets cancer 3 times, he either gets brainwashed or he dies. If you recall from CLOCKBOY, we can collect paint or thinner mid-input to extend the length of it. I would like to purge me saying extend the length of it from the internet. Well, this can't actually be done here. This guy refuses to leave the stage, and the breakables are over there. Even with our slightly extended thinner capacity, he takes too long to try and consume again. So 3 paint uses added to our list. And yes, I did spare him, because I'm just such a nice guy. This guy tries to get us to sign up for a pyramid scheme or something and gives us access to a new mechanic, sketches! Sketches have a limited capacity and do temporary stuff. Then we just unlocked the TV sketch, which shockingly spawns a TV. This distracts enemies and powers these things. I will never use these in combat because I forget to. This next area is easy if you don't try and thin nothing like a moron. Nothing really to talk about. Oh my god! Look at the rocket! I can't believe we're at the end of the game halfway through the video! Our goal is to get to the 2nd floor and then into an elevator. You do this with paint and thinner. This is take 2 because I'm stupid as shit. This is Editing Toast Bomba here. I'm having issues with OBS, so the audio is probably all fucked up, but I'm gonna uninstall it and reinstall it after I fucking make this video. And not before, because I hate you. Now, I thought these things are the main way to get up, and I didn't think that. They just are. So what I thought happened is you go on them, you paint them in, and then they take you up. Then while editing it for the background footage, I found out you just kind of sit here, and they do it themselves. So, yeah, I'm kind of... I think this isn't even one that takes you up. This is the worst thing I could have possibly used for an example, because... Oh, wait, no, this does take you... Oh, there was just another route. There was just another... So, the next point in my video is, like, triple worth, like, not even worth... existing now. But I'm gonna keep it in because I discover a tech here and it's kind of cool. What's in here? Oh, there's a... yeah. What do I get? You get a bronze pin for this, but there's a free gold pin for... Oh, yeah, sure. My initial plan of ending my own life was not successful. Our closest point to the top are on these platforms. We're just barely unable to make the jump here. Even jumping from one of these cars isn't enough. So, are we doomed? Well, I have an ace up my ass. Remember that TV sketch? I almost didn't. But you can stand on the TV, which gives you just enough height to make it on the top of the platform. New enemy! They never say his name. It's basically a sweeper beetleworks. And because of that, it'll thin painted in stuff, like the fuse box that needs to power the elevator. But because I've been playing the game since I was 3, I know that even with thinner, this bitch is a pain in the ass to kill. So you actually can just lure him to the other end of this little stage and run back, paint the fuse box, and make it into the elevator before he can stop you. Bad news, man. It's not actually the end of the game. The Mad Doctor fucked up the rocket for some reason, also gave the parts to random bad guys. Also used papyrus. Well, we've appeared at one of the titular evil dude's bases somehow, and it's just right there and easy to take. Wait, what? P-Tronic showed up and it's actually a boss fight? No way, that's wait, does he have a painted thinner pump on his back? It takes 3 cycles to kill this man, and due to 0 breakables, you cannot possibly keep the input throughout. I should use paint here, so I can even out both capacities. Probably not the wisest or most optimal move, but it'll piss me off having 2 uneven bars. Also known as Pirate Land, VentureLand starts with us being tested to open a door with ship parts because this man says pretty much all his friends died and we gotta save him or something. Gets calls the survivors dumb as shit. We get the ship parts via side quests. The first one's to get 3 maps throughout the map. They're all obtainable even though I thought this one wouldn't be. Next, we gotta get this guy flowers to impress this woman. However, one of the flowers we need is actually underground, so instead we get him to give her ice cream and give him depression. Now this guy wants us to go into his treehouse, but the issue is, we can't. Money is of no object though, so we don't give a shit. By the way, the things we got were a ship wheel, a figurehead, and a compass. How does any of that open a door? We don't even gain control of Mickey before getting told to get this guy's shit. Does he not realize who I am? I'm Mickey Mouse, and oh wait, he's paying me. We get the watch sketch here. Unlike the TV sketch, this one doesn't spawn anything. It slows down time temporarily, but we still move at the same speed. It's never required, and I'm not using this shit ever again. Hey, wanna know something cool? You gotta get into this building, and you gotta thin the door to open it. Also, I'll kill you. If you use your thinner input to hit this roof too, we can add to our property damage and get a key. There are 3 men locked up down here, and one of them will open the gate to let us pass. We hit a few gears here and get the sword. Fun fact, you need the watch sketch here on the Wii, but since the remake added this dash, it's literally useless. We use the sword to kill this guy and move on to the jungle. New enemy, and god damn it, new enemy, and it doesn't have a name. These beetleworks are pirates that were turned into animatronics. By Freddy, this guy is Gentleman Starkey, and he kills Gus. He wants us to find 3 rocks and use thinners. God damn it, lucky for us. Hey, get the fuck out of here, I'm trying to... What's that? Stop! What? Lucky for us, they're spaced out so that we have to use thinner 3 times here. Also, Gus is schizo. Now that's done with, we're back to where we just were for some reason. Also, the ink plates can be red now, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the difference is. Anyways, we're leaving right away. I'm not sure why you cut back here and just leave. I didn't make the game. Now we're at these ride things, kinda like earlier in the game. After some dumb gear platforming, we're confronted with, say it with me, painted thinner pumps! But is all hope lost? Not quite. Look at this dude. Don't ask what he's doing, he spawns like this. When this sweeper attacks, the thinner projectile can actually fuel the pumps. This is easier said than done. The sweeper needs to throw thinner 10 times into the pump. It seems to follow a cycle of attacks. It waits for 30 minutes, throws, then it waits for 10 minutes, melees, then waits for its father to come home, aka forever, until I hit it again. Additionally, enemies don't respawn until you die, which also resets any pumps that aren't full. Speaking of dying, it's really hard not to do that. Dodging the thinner is not easy, and there are many breakables to be able to heal from. Second pump isn't much better. This dumbass's AI is even worse here, and sometimes they'll just fuck off and leave. By sometimes, I mean like all the time. Really, this is a showcase of my lack of patience. Sadly, or luckily for my sanity, the third pump's on the other side of bridge that's on fire, so we can't get him across. We have to use thinner here. Nothing of note next area. We hit a few gears, save this guy who talks about Captain Hook gooning, and nothing else. Also, I lied when I said nothing of note. We have to use thinner to progress. And what are you gonna do about it? Nothing, because we both know you're a little pussy who- wait, stop! No! Just outside of where we can go with our last thinner use, we have another game that needs thinner because the devs fucking hate us. Now we're finally at Skull Island and really close to the boss of this area. I mean, I know this is a side mission, but innocent lives have been turned into, well, not innocent, these are pirates. They kill people, steal shit, and get video games for free. Damn it, what does it matter? What man deserves this fate? First to wander set past endlessly, killing whatever opposes it in its path? I don't wish this on my worst enemy! We have to, say it with me, thin 3 things. This time they're anchors. Then I paused my recording and forgot to unpause it, so I have to beat the game again! Look at how much I sacrificed for you guys. You're really not worth it. I mean, I was gonna beat the game again anyways to get the shots without the UI, so it doesn't matter, but still, shut up. Okay, I hope this works. I figured out the issues with OBS. It's like April 2nd, I think. And I already know what I'm gonna do here, so I'm gonna speedrun it. Alright, so basically with this one, okay, here, I think you just fucking thin that. Boom, yeah, I know. Shocker. We have to use thinner to thin objects, alright. That was me trying to see if my mic was too quiet on OBS. That wasn't just me being fucking insane, although I am. I just did a full lap. Alright, for this one, we're gonna do an insane strat. You don't even need to thin the rock here, you just gotta boom. I was really worried I'd guess there's only one more anchor. That's the entrance, you dumb bitch. Alright, and for this one, you're gonna be genuinely shocked. We have to use thinner, but luckily we have a man here, so we don't need to use thinner. Oh, this one was a fucking pain. Today, please. You're ranged! Why do you need to get that close? Where are you going, man? Well, I just noticed how trippy that paint effect is. The Minecraft fucking portal. Can you... Why? Why does the... And did they do this in the first game? The actual Wii game? I don't know, because I never did something like this. It was this one. No, at least... Whoa! What the fuck just happened? I didn't do this in my original, I don't think, but you can totally just fucking... Unless he just decides to fuck off. No, he's not. Oh, you get green tickets for those guys? Is that what they do? No, they have to be, like, fast or something, I don't get it. I already put that in the video. Boom. Right, friggin' Smee. Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did, man. Guys, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. How do I cheat? I'm gonna fucking cheat. You're not ready for this. Boom, I just used Guardians. Fucking kill me. Oh my god. I forgot. Why is this even in the game? Brother! I'm so far! And he goes for the shot and somehow misses. Really? Wow, he's not here! Edit like an actual sprite. Man, this ought to be an easy one. The Cap ain't even here. You know, as a professional game dev myself. Also, I knew that from my Wii days, so get fucked. Ooh. Can you just... What do you mean? Okay, okay. Okay, pal. Okay, okay, okay. Wanna know something I didn't know from my Wii days? That the worst boss, which is this fucking boss, to do genocide route, you don't have to hit him off the edge. You'd best not be planning on rescuing the Sprite lad. This is what he sounds like in the TV show, I guess. Now remember, keep your dick in the car. I hope you're geared up for this. This is gonna be barrels. It's fucking Crocinator from the Battle Cats, holy shit. Yeah, apparently you could just beat this guy into the wall 5... I was looking at the wiki. You can just slam this guy into a wall 5 times in a row. Ow. That didn't hurt me? Hello? He fucking stabbed me.
Oh, you hit the bomb at him. I'm dumb. I never do this route because it's so much faster just to... What are we doing? Also, in case you're wondering if it's possible to do pacifist, you can get, actually, wait. You can get this, but you have to paint... You have to paint that. So I'm just gonna get this guy to fucking kill himself. This one doesn't work. Oh, no, it does. Door was not that intense. It was not that intense, buddy. You no need to make that sound. And he's dead. I've never seen this animation. That smarts me after getting dismembered. I don't know why Gus is like, holy shit, dude. Jesus, holy fuck. Just keep going. Oh my lord. Buddy, he's fine. He was just like kind of chilling. Is he still around? I already got the pin. Nothing to say. I'm just gonna... Yeah, you know if you go, up there and get the fucking Sprite again? Huh. Huh. So that's the point. If you get this guy, you can get the good ending. Like, that, I've done that. I was really confused. You know, I don't think you get the paint capacity, but it's still kind of funny.
Oh dear, that infernal machine's still rumbling. What fuck?
Before we move on, I'd like to mention how funny it is to freeze frame on the animations the NPCs make when you hit them. Which, now that I'm saying it out loud, this sounds like something a deranged kick streamer would say. I mean, just look at Oswald, or this guy, or... oh my god.
Good news. We can finally beat
Despite being the last hub area, Bog Easy is really quick. All we gotta do is paint in these lanterns. I'm gonna end it all. Before you say anything, I did try jumping over the gate. Mickey's just stupid or something and refuses to. Mickey and Gus are terrified of this building for some reason. I mean, while it does seem dilapidated, the yard isn't even that bad. I mean, sure, there's gravestones and all, but who cares? The enemies aren't a threat of all, as long as we employ our legendary tactic of not standing still. Reaching the outside, the Mad Doctor, last seen 12 seconds in the game, shows up and talks some shit about his defenses and fucks off. One of said defenses was just leaving this new sketch up here for us. Now, the astute among you may have noticed that that's not on the bottom floor. There's no stairs, but one of the pillars is thinned in just a way that we cannot get up. So we have to use the thinner on the other pillars and move on. But now that I'm looking back, I realize it's just fucking forgot TV sketches existed. And yeah, you can use them to get up top, so Control Z that last addition to the counter. We get the anvil sketch, which is the final one. It's very similar to the TV, powering these switches, but instead of being a distraction, it's a murder weapon. They're very similar sizes, but for some reason the game only wants us to use this one as a platform. We use the strangely convenient anvil sketch to power this switch, avoiding Mad Doctor's defenses of 3 dudes. Oh, and Zeus apparently. Also, Mickey is the strongest neck known to man, because he just supported an anvil on his head and walked away like nothing happened. Gus starts talking about geometry dash or something as we reach the next one. Our task here is to get this guy out of this bottle. Trying to find the room that has the bottle, I fell into this pit. No problem, there's a lot of ways to get out. You can't get out on your own even when you jump off the lone survivor's head, and you can't move through this hole for some reason. Whew. I just noticed we have these barrels. There wasn't really any point to this whole thing. I thought it was funny. Heh, that was a close one. Luckily, it's still mostly pitted so we can jump off. The next time I hear somebody say sweeper, I'm gonna— No. The next time I see a mop, I'm gonna— After we reset and reach the bottle, Screeching Sam here tells us to paint in these 2 skulls that are really far apart. Rather than bothering with that shit, I thin this painting and once again rely on a gremlin to bail me out. Oh my god, guys, it's the Grim Reaper! Ooh, that was a close one. Hey, where are you going? No! Let's skip this painting room as it's beaten the same way a casual run would unless you jump into spinning things like an idiot and softlock yourself. But nobody's moronic enough to do that. Plus, the 3 enemies that spawn are easily dispatched as long as you're good with the parry timing. Now we're in the library with Orb Woman. She wants us to paint 3 skulls in, catch these books, and fix 4 paintings, which is done by thinning them, spinning the gear, and painting them back in. Gotcha. Only the skulls are required. Now, it might have been possible to paint 2 of these skulls with 1 use, but a cutscene plays every time, which interrupts the input. Whoa! She opened the exit! How kind are you fucking— Luckily, thanks to our extended thinner capacity, we can kill this guy in 2 cycles. After helping out this pipe organ, we get this collectible twice, then reach the Mad Doctor, who has the plan of idly standing in front of this ramp for roller coasters that he lowered as he makes a bunch of dudes fight us instead. After looking around and finding somebody's ass, I realized the paint route for the Mad Doctor doesn't use paint at all, instead using sketches. Also, the Mad Doctor is an animatronic and then dies. What's that? Something's happening at MICKEYJUNK Mountain? Something big? I don't give a fuck, I want to do side quests instead. Goofy exists and opens a door, where we get this thing that belongs to Oswald's girlfriend / wife, I'm not sure, who's presumably dead. Find out that Goofy's immediately suggests selling it, but that's fucked up. I'm gonna give it to Oswald because I'm a good guy. Look, he's happy! They get compensation. It's been a while since I played, so I forget the reward is. Okay, look, this was a certified oopsie moment, that means I broke a rule. To compensate, I'll just intentionally take damage whenever I reach 6 HP to go down to 5 again. Ignoring my stupidity, we go through the projector that takes us to the base of MICKEYJUNK, and it doesn't, and instead takes us straight to Oswald's place. This guy's mean, so I kill him, and then we reach peak MICKEYJUNK Mountain. As in the peak, we're at the peak. Laugh-track.mp3. As we approach the mountaintop, As we approach the mountaintop, we see Oswald beating the shit out of a million dudes, and who else shows up but the one, the only, Bendy the Ink Machine. No, the Blot! The Blot is like the slobber mini-bosses in which he can only be damaged when he Kirby's. This time, there's almost 0 breakables, and he also takes 400 years before he tries to suck you again. The Blot just causes the paint to fuck off and leaves. Mickey walks away like he didn't see that, and unpredictably the Blot grabs him and kills him. Just kidding, he's actually 5 years old and he fucks off, so we get to Oswald instantly somehow and push in Discord. Naturally, we ask what's in it, only to realize, oh shit, that wasn't the Blot we were fighting, that was just a tiny part of him, and this is how Hortensia died. Now, because character growth, Oswald's cool with us now and wants us to start over. Mickey is guilty and tells Oswald how he killed countless people, including his wife. Naturally, he's pissed and tries to square up. Oswald forgot to account for how he wears 4 brilliant? Whatever. Oswald's fat as fuck, breaks the cork, and oh my god, we're so fucked. Not even 12 seconds, the Blot takes the 2 side characters, makes Mickey give him his heart, and then leaves after doing an evil thing. Not to break the mood, but the first Bowser fight in Mario Odyssey totally ripped this off. The sudden fake final boss appearance, the fact it's really high up, even the way you enter the arena. Disney should sue Nintendo for $4 trillion, like if you agree. Now, I know that title card looks kinda bad. It's Blot Tentacles, not Blot Testicles. At least I assume. Also, yeah, I am assuming gender. We have to get to each of the hub areas finishing with going back to Tomorrow City, and destroy the orbs on these tentacles. These orbs are destroyed using paint, thinner, or luckily the spin move. The only real problem here is that when they're destroyed, they bust, causing damage to you if you're too close. They have a really big range, and the only way to get out of it reliably is by dashing away, but the caveat is they're in the air. Plus, unless you've destroyed the entire tentacle, they reset when you die. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's possible, but just really inconsistent, and the enemies that are now here tend to add to the health we're already losing. It's all very similar stuff, so I'll just skip past it. If you're wondering, Mean Street's the easiest, and Bug Easy the hardest. I know, pretty shocking that the first area is easy and the last one's hard. Oh, Gus wants to tell us something. Oh, god damn it! I should have said that Tomorrow City was harder because you have to do some wacky jumps in order to even hit the things, but it's a lot harder not to take damage Bog Easy. It really could go either way, but I don't want it to, so it's Bog Easy. Now we're in the rocket. Since Mickey doesn't have his heart anymore, I guess the goal is just to fly into the Blot, which I'm pretty sure would cause us to blow up and die, but that doesn't matter because instead we crash, causing us to blow up and die. So how many uses of paint and thinner does it take to be Epic Mike Rebrushed? I don't know yet, because Mickey survived somehow, meaning the game isn't over yet because we've landed in...
It's a boy.
Hello, neighbor! Like what I did there with the transition? It's pretty cool, wasn't it? Man, I'm so cool. Too bad I don't have a heater. Anyways, this place is fucked now, and to get out we must unfuck it, which is actually pretty easy. Then we run into this asshole again. However, this time there's actually breakables nearby, so we can actually kill him in one cycle. It's very tight though, as you can only make it to things to break when he's not trying to suck you, but I managed to get it done on the 3rd try. Now that we mind control that man, we can move on to the stone scary guy, who's actually a mirror light puzzle. You spin them with an appropriately named spin move, and they don't do anything unless you pin in their heads. Well, fuck, that's one extra paint use. Well, not to warn you, but things are about to get pretty complicated. Telling me we gotta not only paint certain pictures and thin the others, but set up another light puzzle and kill this slobber? Well, looks like things just got interesting. Do I delete my account? Do I? I think I should. I think I should delete my real life account for writing and saying that, if you know what I mean. Well, let's start with these gargoyles, who do, of course, need painting. At first, there's the concern that we need not only 1, but 2 paint uses due to this cutscene. Luckily, my supreme intelligence shines through once more, and I realized that it only plays the cutscene when you paint in the light maker, so you can just do them last. Doing that just opens the door to let you through. Looks like I'll lie about the other stuff. Oops. You don't mind, right? I have 7 children and no! We're really close to the end now. We've switched gears so we're fucking exploding the bot with fireworks. We gotta climb 3 towers, insert 9/11 triplet tower jokes, and do a thing. Also look at the statue, it's fucked. The first tower starts off with some mildly hard platforming, but nothing impossible. But it becomes clear that the game is trying to get us to use all of its mechanics because, you know, it's the finale, and if the finale didn't make you use this game's main gimmick, it would be a shitty finale. This wall, despite how it looks, doesn't let you walk through it. However, there's a hole in the wall further down that might just let us jump around. Pit stop really quick because I want this CLOCKBOY. Oh, we can't just reach it from the floor. Maybe we can jump up. Oh, wait, we can just walk in here? The rest of this part isn't that bad. Despite how the game clearly wants us to paint and or thin, we never have to. The next room is a different story. Almost immediately, the game forces us to use paint to get to the next portion here. Or does it? I haven't mentioned these things. There are a bunch of tentacles that periodically lash out and assault you. They can be temporarily covered by pinning in these shields. For some reason, these ones start painted in. So if you're really fast, you can dash off one of these, and if you space out your jumps just right, you can make it across. The rest of the staircase goes off surprisingly hitchless. I'm not sure if hitchless is a word, but it is to me, and really, that's all that matters. Now we're up top, and who shows up but the Flawed himself? Don't worry, he'll piss off when we load this tower with fireworks, which is done by facing these gargoyles toward the center. Oh, and by painting them in, because the devs fucking hate me, and I fucking hate... Actually, no, they made this game, I like them a lot, so I'll just hate here and take it like a good boy. What am I... Anyways, every gargoyle can be painted in one cycle, so it's only one for the tally. The next tower is pretty easy, minus this one part of the staircase that will collapse on you. That's not affected by the challenge though, that's just part of the game. There's another block fight here, it's the same as the first. I know I haven't really mentioned these projectors that much, but this one fucking pisses me off. So you have this water, right? And it rises, and it damages you. Alright, that makes sense. So tell me, why the fuck does it one-shot you here and only here at the end of the fucking level? And it's not like because I ground pounded, that's fine everywhere else. But once it stops rising, it decides, oh, now it's time to one-shot you and restart it. Except, no, that's not the rule. I died here because of bullshit. I died here 3 times in total this fucking projector, and I had to restart every single time on an auto-scroller. That was really fun, wasn't it? Don't you agree that auto-scroller resetting at the end is really fun? Like it's
Disregarding that rant, we've reached the 3rd tower, which makes up for how nothing that last one was. Almost right away, we're graded to an impossible jump. Luckily, while we paint in the platform we need, we can paint in a few extra.
Oh, an arena, where we were forced to use friendly fire? I'm getting flashbacks. Actually, the sweepers can't end their own lives. Even if we manage to time it just right and jump over his head, it just hits us instead because the projectile's too fast. So we can just take matters into our own hands with thinner. It actually doesn't matter if you use paint or thinner because there's a cutscene that'll cancel the input when you finish the room. The platforms we painted in earlier meant we don't have to do anything here, and we reached another arena we can't be without paint/thinner. It's paint divided by thinner, by the way. Pretending that didn't happen again, this pillar collapses so we can't jump on whatever that would be called. You can make it to this chest, then to this lesser chest, but your jump will fall just short. This room is not doable without paint or thinner. Again. This time it's actually really fucking difficult. You see, there's enough breakables in here to let us kill the slobber with only 1 paint bar, but the little black dude is low. See, when these bastards hit you, it cancels the paint use because they knock you back. On top of this, they like to stand in the way when the slobber sucks you and just eat the paint instead. Plus, strafing pulls you closer to him, and if he gets too close, he swipes at you, which also cancels the use of the paint. Before you mention it, it takes 473 years for the slobber to accidentally kill the splatters because he can only use it with a shotgun attack and it always misses, hence why we're immediately doing the paint route. I died here way more than I should have. The trick is just not to be an impatient little bitch. My attempt to remedy this was being an impatient big bitch, which did eventually work after losing to being this close, which was awesome. This room took me over half an hour, by the way. Just wanted to point that out to explain how much of a pain in the ass this was. Oh, the blob forgot to show up. I guess we just have to paint in these gargoyles and leave through this projector, which inconspicuously does not showcase on a film. And oh my god, what? He was 2 steps ahead the whole time? I think he was? The strategy was just to send us to the bottom floor and leave us to our own devices. After an extremely fair death, we were forced to use thinner twice and then speed through this hallway that has 0 faulty hitboxes. Also, it turns out Oswald's wife is just kind of on display here. Also, Oswald character development, and he dies, and so does Gus, so we commit Sudoku like the samurai used to. Somehow Mickey knew he could enter the blob by jumping into him, and he wouldn't just bounce off and die. So we're inside the blob, not in a sexual way, like in his stomach. And, because this guy's made of thinner, and when you disregard this chest that was put here solely to piss me off, there's nothing else to paint or thin in the entire game. That's right, the end of the game is free! The only challenge comes with dealing with the bloticles and enemy spam. Even these new guys don't matter, we free a very large heart that's actually not very large. Also, it doesn't steal it, because character arcs are cool. He fucking explodes the blob with us inside, which somehow doesn't kill us, and Mickey gets out of Wasteland! and gets arrested for trespassing. We're reminded of how we're forced to kill the CLOCKBOY and WOOOOO happy ending, but can we focus on Mickey still being part blot? Like, what are the ramifications of this? Can you just pick up some random ass paintbrush and murder Goofy or some shit? I mean, not my problem, I guess. So, can you beat Epic Mickey without using paint and or thinner? No, it's not even close. Were you paying attention at all? I know at least one of you skipped to the end like a little scumbag. Yeah, well now you know I'm Toast Bomba, the challenge YouTuber with a 33% win rate. Yeah, I'm the best and you're the worst. I'll kill you. I fucking have the nukes now. You can't kill me. Toast Bomba 3. I'm the best and you're dead.